my student, we have proceeded looking on the feedback mechanism, and we have said that within the feedback mechanism is whereby we have only two kinds of feedback mechanism, that is the negative feedback mechanism and the positive feedback mechanism. We have seen that good examples of positive feedback mechanism is whereby we try to see the oxytocin hormone, that is bring about positive feedback mechanism. Lakini tukija kuongelea negative feedback mechanism, tukasema kwamba hii inatokea sana ndani ya miili yetu, therefore there is a production of different kinds of hormone. So now my students, we are proceed looking at examples of the negative feedback mechanism. And now an example of the negative feedback mechanism is the release of the thyroxine hormone. So the release of the thyroxine hormone, remember this hormone, it is responsible for bringing growth and development to occur within any organism. So now the release of this thyroxine hormone, let's see on how that this hormone is released within our body. So we're going to see this in the figure 4.36. As you can see here, this is our figure 4.36 that explains the factor regulating thyroxine secretion and the homeostatic control of the metabolic rate. So, but here we have this key, it contains the dashed line, that is inhibition, inazuia production of the something. Lakini tukiongelea hii stimulation, kwa maana kwamba hii full halo inamaanisha kwamba stimulation, hicho kitu kinaendelea kuzalishwa ndani ya miili. So kwa hiyo sasa hapa tukaangalie where is this thyroxine hormone is it produced. Firstly, we have the part of the brain which is called the hypothalamus. You know, hypothalamus ndio part of the brain ambayo ina stimulate other hormone to be produced within our body. So this hormone, this part of the brain which is called the hypothalamus, it will release a thyrotropin releasing hormone. This thyrotropin releasing hormone au tunaweza tukaita TRH inaenda moja kwa moja kwenye the part of the brain which is called the anterior pituitary gland. The anterior pituitary gland now will dilate this, due to this secretion of this hormone, that is the thyrotropin releasing hormone, will release the thyroid stimulating hormone. Since the pituitary gland, it is only releases stimulating hormone. So what kind of hormone does this anterior pituitary gland release due to the secretion of thyrotropin releasing hormone from hypothalamus? It is called the thyroid stimulating hormone. So this thyroid stimulating hormone enter to the thyroid gland. So after in the thyroid gland now, it will stimulate production of the thyroxine hormone. So here thyroxine hormone now, it will enter to the bloody stream. That is into the bloody stream, that is within the bloody vessel, is where now there is the blood. So this thyroxine hormone, it will enter into the blood. So if it will enter into the blood, it will increase the basal metabolic rate which are occurring within our body. That will enhance growth and development of our body. But also due to a high secretion or high amount of thyroxine hormone within the blood, it will inhibit this thyroxine may have the effect on the anterior pituitary gland. Itaenda kuinhibit production of thyroid stimulating hormone ili isiende kuzalishwa another hormone ambayo itakuwa nyingi ndani ya blood. But also this thyroxine, it also cause small effect on the hypothalamus. So ile hypothalamus tena haitakuwa na uwezo wa kurelease thyroid thyrotropin releasing hormone into our body. So that is how we can control the release of the thyroxine hormone. But also now we can say that thyroxine help in regulating the metabolic rate, growth and development of an organism. So due to the production of this thyroxine hormone, inasaidia kwenda increase basal metabolic rate in our body, but also growth and development to occur within our body is due to this hormone, that is thyroxine hormone. So now the control of the release of the thyroxine is determined by the level of the thyroxine with the 4 iodine atom, that is T4, circulating into the blood. So they control the releasing of the thyroxine hormone within the blood. Tunasema kwamba inazuiwa due to the presence of the iodine 4 atoms ambayo ina circulate within our blood. Kwa hiyo sasa tunaweza tukasema kwamba if there is high concentration of T4 in the blood, it inhibits production of further production by inhibiting the production of the thyrotropin releasing hormone by the hypothalamus and the thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH, by anterior pituitary gland. So that is, we have already seen that in the diagram. That is those are the explanation. Kwa maana kwamba pale ambapo patakuwa na high concentration of thyroxine hormone, that is T4, since the thyroxine it is made by the 4 iodine atom, ndio maana tunaita T4. So now after a high concentration of the T4 within the blood is where now it will trigger or it inhibit secretion of the thyrotropin releasing hormone within the hypothalamus. But also those T4 will enter into the anterior pituitary gland and inhibit the production of the thyroid stimulating hormone. So therefore we can say that in this case, the production of the series of the reaction control its own production by turning off the pathway when it reaches a certain level. So if the certain level of the thyroxine hormone it reaches within the blood, that is a maximum level of thyroid hormone or thyroxine hormone into the blood, it will inhibit the production, more production of the thyroxine hormone within a blood. So that is how they are regulated. And therefore we can say that the negative feedback mechanism is observed in the production and the regulation of the insulin in the blood. Not only the production of the thyroxine within the blood, also we have another example, that is a regulation of the insulin within the body. Also that is one of the example. So now this regulation of insulin within the blood, it occurs when the sugar level lies in the blood. So it is detected by beta cells of insulin of the ligament of the pancreas, which release the insulin hormone. So pale ambapo kutakuwa na higher level of sugar within the blood, so tunasema kwamba there is a process that occurring within the pancreas whereby the insulin it will be released within the blood. Is where now the hormone will then convert the glucose into glycogen, which is stored in the liver and the muscles. Kwa sasa pale ambapo patakuwa na low concentration of sugar, tunasema kwamba zile sugar ambazo zimetunzwa either kwenye liver in form of glycogen, it will be converted into glucose. Thereafter it causes the level of the sugar level to decrease. Kwa kiwango cha sukari ndani ya damu kitapungua. So hiyo inakuwa ni vice versa. Na pale ambapo patakuwa na low concentration or lower level of glucose, then it will cause beta cells of the reduced production of that insulin. So in turn trigger the release of the glucagon from the alpha cells of the insulin of the ligament of the pancreas. So glucagon italiliziwa pale ambapo patakuwa na kiwango kidogo cha sukari ndani ya mwili. So this glucagon it will enhance increase of sugar level within the blood. And now we can say that the hormones convert the glycogen into glucose. So hapo ndipo ile hormone ambazo zinapatikana within our body, it will convert the glucose into glycogen. So now you can see here, it will convert the glycogen into glucose. Remember, this glycogen, it is found within the liver. It is stored within the liver. Kwa sasa pale ambapo patakuwa na kiwango kidogo cha sukari within our body, is where now this glycogen that which is stored within our liver, it is converted by the presence of the glucagon hormone to form the glucose, and hence make the rise of the sugar level within our blood. That is how negative feedback mechanism it occur. Yani negative feedback mechanism inatokea tu pale ambapo inahitaji kurudisha mwili kwenye hali yake iliyokuwa sawa, and that is enhance production of different kinds of hormones so that it can regulate the body into its stable state. So now, my student, after we have seen a few examples of this negative feedback mechanism, also I'd like to invite you again into the next session, is where now we are going to start seeing another examples concerning the negative feedback mechanism and also positive feedback mechanism. And by saying so, thank you for following us, Educator TZ, and bye-bye. Have a nice moment.